Hey, welcome to another episode of the Duct Taped Goat Radio Show, episode 602. So, every day, this Duct Taped Goat Radio Show, and every day we celebrate the day. Today is a few days worthy of celebration. National Donut Day. That's a pretty good day. National Rocky Road Day. It's a pretty good day. And National Leave the Office Early Day. So those are all pretty good days. That's some pretty positive stuff. There are some other days I don't understand it. I just go off of what makes sense immediately. If I can't immediately relate, then I don't even try. So, we've got National Rocky Road Day. If you're not familiar with what Rocky Road is, it's an ice cream. It's chocolate. It's like chocolate ice cream with chocolate chunks and like chocolate swirls or something like that. I don't even remember. And marshmallow. I don't remember exactly though. Like, I could be mistaken. I've had it before though. I remember there's definitely marshmallow, and it's really, really good. Also, we've got National Donut Day. I haven't decided where I'm gonna get a donut yet. You know, I'm a gas station donut kind of person. You know, whenever I get a donut, it's at the gas station. It's just how it happens. And I just bought fuel yesterday. So I don't know, I might go to a donut shop. But you know, most cafes have donuts anyways, so that'd be okay. I usually tend to find myself at the cafe anyways. So you know, donut day. Totally. But you know what else is a day? National Leave the Office Early Day. So if you work in an office, you get to leave the office early today. How great a news is that? You know, and if you're a field laborer, you know, then you gotta work all day. I think that's how that works. But yeah, and I guess there was a notation on National Leave the Office Early Day. If it falls on a weekend ever, then the nearest weekend day to that day ends up being the day that you go home early. So that's a good positive day. Get people out of there. Start the weekend early. That's a cool day. Well, we've got some great news. Really, really positive great news. I don't know how you can tell, but I think the quality of the video might just be a little bit better than it usually is right now. Because I finally got a new phone, so I've been able to make phone calls. Very excited about that. Progress in my life. Man, going a week without a phone. Like, my jacket pocket was really lightweight. You know, it was a little rough. But this'll work for now. I'm definitely glad I got something figured out pretty quickly. So, you know, what else is going on, though? Besides just being another regular day. I don't think anything all too special is going on where I'm at. I don't work in an office, and I don't really buy and eat ice cream. And I've never really eaten donuts unless someone buys everybody donuts and I'm part of everybody. Then I'm like, dude, donuts, awesome. Yeah, I haven't had Rocky Road ice cream in years. Years. Usually I go for peanut butter. Like peanut butter and chocolate something. Some combination of the peanut butter and the chocolate is delicious. Huh, but at that same rate. I also like vanilla bean. You know, just some nice strong vanilla ice cream is really good too. So yesterday was pretty exciting. I was sitting there and I just got this brief inspiration that why don't I go change out that wrist pin bearing on my bike? And I was like, well, because I need to work on my head. So this head right here is off of is the one that was just on there. I ended up taking a hammer and a nail and hammering out the piece chunk that was jammed in the top of the head. So that, of course, as I knew, now it's got this hole in there. I polished it out to the best of my ability. It runs great. So that's good news. Really good news. Because while I'm there, I gotta do that too. Checked up on everything else. Everything else is checking out okay, looking good. The wrist pin bearing, though, that was in there, definitely a good thing I pulled that thing out of there and put a new one in. Because it rides great. The ride is really pretty great. Smooth and quiet, powerful. Kind of exactly right about how it should be. So I'm glad about that. I wasn't sure what to expect, like if it would operate the same. And then I was like, I'm gonna put this better head on there. But it has a better seal. So given that it has a better seal, it's gonna operate quieter and a little bit faster and all those good things. But it's very smooth. It is very smooth. I can feel a smoothness upgrade in the operation of it. So I'm glad that I did that. Everything else on the bike seems to check out. You know, the usual suspects happening, stuff loosening up on the road, and then like, what's happening? And then I have to fix it. That happens fairly often, but you know, nothing outside of the scope of normal. So today's Friday. I don't really have too many plans today. You know, I'm mostly just really looking forward to getting a tripod and being able to set this down so I don't have to hold it. But, you know, anything else is... Do I even have... I was thinking I should. That's what I did with it. Took my old one, put it in there. So, you know, that thing needs to be rebuilt. I need to get a mag coil for it. I might not, though. You know, I should get a head gasket, but I'll just reuse one. I thought I lost a couple pieces, but then I found a couple pieces. So that's good news. You know, everything's just been slowly coming together. My phone honored the extension, so my billing cycle is actually near my payday now. That's kind of nice. They extended it all 2 weeks. But when I went to the store, like I talked to him on the phone first at the customer service center on the 1-800 number. And they said, yeah, don't worry about it. There's no activation fees, there's no SIM card fees. You know, you'll just be able to walk into any location, tell them you're already a customer and you need a new SIM card. And I was like, great. So I did that. Went into the nearest location, asked them for a SIM card, and they proceeded to try to charge me $25. I was like, wait a second. I just talked to these guys on the phone, and I remember specifically asking, is there any activation fees? And they said no. They said, well, there's nothing here in the notes about it. And I was like, yeah, because the notes are about the extension, so that I don't have to be billed for the time right now. While I'm talking to you and can't make phone calls, I'm not being billed for it. How a service operator should treat their client and customer, you know? And they called over a manager and she was like, yeah, we charge $25 for a SIM card. And I was just like, I've never heard of that before in my life. Like, my previous operators, I've been through every operator, and I've never been charged $25. If I've ever been charged, it's $10. And it's not $10 at the store. It's $10 if you buy and have one shipped to your doorstep. That's just my experience. Anyways, the point is I got my phone working. Kind of the sad news is the phone I got is a 3G phone. I mean, it's a good smartphone. It's a smartphone. It's a pretty decent smartphone, but it is 3G. And even though, from what I've heard, 3G is not a real network anymore, and it's no longer supported or whatever, or rather also that they took the 3G signal and converted it to make the 4G signal, so no longer does the 3G signal even work. Regardless of hearing all this, I just walked in there, got my free SIM card, put it in my phone, and it works. I can make phone calls, I can send and receive text messages, but what it's not doing is bleeding data like a stuck pig, because it's 3G data. But the 3G data means it's actually running on 1G and 2G data, which is very, very slow. Which is fine for doing some like text-based things, which is, you know, how I prefer to use the internet. So that's good news, you know. Pictures take a minute, ads really take a minute, videos are next to impossible to load up. But it works, and I can always hit Wi-Fi to do that stuff, so I'm glad. You know, my data plan, I can turn auto sync on this phone, and it's going so slow it's not going to break the bank or break my data. It's not going to max it out. So the sad news because of that is that means I won't be able to run any live stream yet. I mean, it's possible, I guess. I'm sure I could figure out a way. But no, it's not really worth it unless I'm on Wi-Fi or something. And even then, this phone's a little old. I couldn't find the YouTube Live app being supported by it. So I definitely need to get my other phone fixed. You know, that'll do a lot of stuff. But in the meantime, we got celebratory day. Something I'm celebrating about, the ability to make and receive phone calls. What else is going on in the day and the week? You know? Mostly just saving up money, you know, trying to cover those bills. Got one of those annual bills coming up. I'm just looking at my wallet like, damn, what do I gotta do to make this happen, you know? So that'll be exciting. I may have to sell my Frankenstein motor. But I'll probably make something happen. Like, I'm pretty good at just like out of the clear blue sky making something happen. So everything else that's going on, you know what I mean? I'm looking for some kind of microphone, you know what I mean? I think that'd totally help with some of the quality of what you guys get to hear in this. Cuz I don't have a selfie cam. That means my microphone is pointing in the other direction. If my microphone's pointing in the other direction, that means you guys are only getting half the sound. So if I had an external microphone and that thing was on a tripod, you know, you'd be able to see and hear all clearly. I haven't exactly got that figured out to a thing yet, but, you know, we'll figure it out. And then I'm like, I have microphones, I have headsets, I've got something I could work with possibly, but, you know, more than anything, and I don't even know if that's necessarily going to work. I hope it does. It should. I'm pretty sure that's how it would work. Coffee, cigarettes. It's just life. What else is there? You know what I mean? I don't have too many plans today. Today's my day off day every week. I plan no plans. That way, if plans come up, people are like, hey, what are you doing Friday? I'm like, nothing. Unfortunately, usually I'm doing nothing. But then, I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go to a cafe. Yeah. Besides that, you know, same as any day, work on the bike. You know, celebrate the day. You know, I haven't been to Krispy Kreme in a long time. That might be an interesting way to celebrate. But I might just try something different, like go to a new cafe I've never been to before, you know what I mean? Like, where else do they sell donuts? I don't even know. Like I said, I buy gas station donuts. Yep. So the bike, it holds up. It holds true with the new bearing. The new bearing is smooth, went in well. Hopefully it doesn't. I mean, I just know it's gonna hold up. You know what I mean? It's designed to handle nitro, and I don't run nitro. So I'm thinking I'll probably get a good, at least. But I think the most common rated distance is 4,000, but I hear really often also 2,000, and if something is wrong with like the builder or the bike, then it's around 1,000, something like that. Like in a perfect environment where the person's driving like 15 or 20 everywhere, you know, it's possible to get crazy mileage out of parts. But of course, right? So, at the rate I drive, it's gonna hold up just fine. Really, really looking forward to, whatever day is gonna be tomorrow. Got some exciting stuff going on though. Got these posters I need to make. If you didn't hear anything about that, got a new poster design. It's not really a new poster design, it's an old poster design. But it's a poster design that really needs to be a poster. It needs to happen. It needs to be, you know, a purchasable poster. And my website doesn't really have much product besides links to sites to download MP3s and spend money to download MP3s. And, really want to get some tangible product for any of the fans out there. So, I've got the poster, and I'm thinking which version is going to be limited edition and which version is going to be the, wow, I got some hiccups. Which one's going to be the standard release. So, all you gotta do is go to the episode from yesterday, episode 531, and leave a picture in the comments below about what or where you would hang a duct tape goat poster on your wall. You can get a duct tape goat poster. And it's going to be a limited edition poster. I just figured it out right now, exactly which one's going to be limited edition and which one's going to be regular release. Because there's a certain way it has to be done. It's like, one has to be the limited and one has to be the all the time. And the all the time can't ever go out of stock. And the limited's never coming back in stock. So it's like, yeah, we're totally going to have to do it like this. Because otherwise, if I did the wrong one limited and then the other one that way, that'd be odd. But they're both great poster designs. So, either way, I and you would be really happy about it. So, what else do I got going on? Nothing. It's Friday. It's so weird. I ask myself that on Fridays, and I'm just like, why am I drawing a blank? And it's like, it's okay to draw a blank on Friday. You got no plans. I'm almost sad when people are like, hey man, there's this concert, go to this concert with me. I'm like, yeah, sure, alright, why not, Or, everyone's going to get something to eat. I'm like, I already planned to do nothing. And then I, really stuck to it too hard. Because when stuff comes up, I'm, not really that ramped to go. Because all day long, I've been so, keeping myself in this mode that it's like, don't do anything. You never know, something might happen. You want to be free for that. Then something happens and I'm free for it. And I'm like, kind of happy and content now doing nothing. I don't want to do anything. But it is what it is. Oh, totally. I solved my bill thing. I can just pay it not annually. I would prefer to pay all my bills annually. If I could pay rent annually, my phone annually, my storage unit annually, my food bill annually, buy tobacco annually. You know, if I've got the budget figured out. Like, if I had the cash, I could buy it. Disappear in the woods for a year. There's a crow in the palm tree. That was a crow in the palm tree. You know what? I could play some guitar. You know, that's usually pretty healthy. Might have to go get my guitar this weekend. I've thought about it twice this week. Coming out of hibernation. You know, I don't like playing in the cold. Might be, you know, all those years of living on the street, carrying a guitar around and realizing playing guitar in the cold environment sucks. It just hurts. It goes out of tune really quickly because the strings are changing temperature with the friction and the movement and the vibration and everything. It's a mess. It's so much work to make it sound good. Like, mad respect to those roadies out there keeping these bands intact, you know, while they're playing these winter tours. You know, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want the winter weather to represent my ability to play, you know. It's just less fun. But also, you know, I guess, you know, they can afford to fire up a couple stage lights, and those things are supposed to be pretty warm anyways. But it's definitely no joke, you know, temperature really wrecks it. You know, crows, man. I got this one video recording of me playing the super retarded song, and it's just like dark and retarded and acoustic, but it's still really dark. It's really retarded. It's really good. It's great. And for some reason, some of the really dark songs that I start playing, like I'll be playing on an electric, outside, unplugged, and then crows start up. There was this one day I had just gotten out of jail, and I was outside on the patio of this halfway house getting out of jail. I was sitting there playing my guitar unplugged on the patio, smoking cigarettes, playing this super dark shit, and there was this tree. I mean, a standard large-sized, takes up like half, if not the whole yard tree, right? Gigantic tree. And it's middle of winter, it's dead. Like, or it's not dead, but you know, there's no leaves on the tree. And it was filled with crows. And not like it was filled with crows and I played underneath it. It was the opposite of that, where from an empty tree I sat there playing, and then the tree slowly filled up with dozens of crows, and it looked like all the leaves were made of crows. It's fucking awesome. It's a curse that's followed me for about 15 years. There's usually some kind of crow around me. I did not expect that to really keep happening when I moved to LA. I figured, you know, this has just got to be a seasonal thing, or, you know, it's the crows in Idaho, you know, they don't understand this non-country music. And, you know, crows, man, it happens. But, you know, crows, man, it's fucking cool. I wish I got a picture of that tree filled with crows. It was fucking sick. Or the tree filling up with crows. Because that shit never happens. It was to the point, you know, I was in a halfway house. I had like 12 roommates. Like, half of them were home. And, you know, as they come outside to smoke a cigarette, I was out there for 5 hours, you know. And as they come out to smoke cigarettes, I'm like, dude, check out that tree. It's filling up with crows. And I keep playing this super dark, fucked up music. And they look up the tree, and like a couple of them were genuinely a little bit concerned and worried. And I think the other ones just like refused to believe that it was happening. Like, kind of an is what it is kind of thing. Like, yes, that is happening. And they just kind of didn't really accept for what it was. And something about me that I've realized, most normal people don't sit on the patio and play guitar and have crows fill up trees. You know, I've noticed this over the years. You know what I mean? If I get a good jam going on, man, crows will start showing up. There'd be crows in the recordings, man. And it's always in the middle of the good shit, man. So, just in case you wonder, you know what I mean? Yeah, the world stops. If I'm on a stream and there is a fucking crow, the world is gonna stop to record that crow. Because however fucking awesome I am, crows recognize that awesomeness, and I do my part to recognize the awesomeness that are crows. Even though they're not really the coolest bird around, you know what I mean? They're pretty damn cool. I gave a crow one day a funeral pyre. Crow was hit by a car in the street, dead, and set a funeral pyre for it and got really far away so as not to contract crow disease. It was sad, you know. But that was on Independence Day even too. I didn't have any fireworks. That's not why I lit it on fire. I lit it on fire so it could have like a Viking funeral, you know what I mean? It wasn't like floating down the river or whatnot, but it was like, you know, as close to a floating funeral as a crow can get. I hung some chains from the tree and everything, and, you know. But I'll tell you what, man, I had this vision back when I was a youth. Back when I was a youth about Odinism. And the entire religion of Odinism began unfolding in front of my eyes through my life. As though, you know, even though I had never heard of Odinism before and I'd never heard these stories, I had seen that my life was following along the exact same path and template that they have listed in their religion. And I was just like, what the fuck? When I found out, because I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of major experiences from my life, you know, accompanied with these, like, points of visions. And when I look it up and cross-reference all these things, I find out that, you know, it's directly Odinism. And, you know, crows are very symbolic. So something about that, you know what I mean? I've just always dug crows. You know, even the movie Crow, The Crow, you know, it's a great movie. What else is going on? Yeah, man, crows are cool. I'm gonna have to get my guitar. Like, just because there was that crow there, it's gonna have to happen now. So, I'll pull that out of storage. I got a new amp the other day, and I'll tell you all about that whenever it comes in. I like it. You know, it's the smallest practice amp. I'll just tell you what it is. It's the Marshall Mini Stack. It's the MS whatever model number. Marshall Mini amp. It takes one 9-volt. It's got a maybe 3-inch speaker inside it. Volume, tone, on, off, and overdrive. Like, it's pretty simple. The overdrive sounds pretty dirty, you know. It's good for that dirty metal, dirty punk sound. It sounds good, you know, it patches through. It works great for like cell phones and just like broadcasting a little bit of music off the cell phone. You know, people are like, hey, you know, you're a guitarist, what do you play? I'm like, I have music on my cell phone. And I pull out the mini guitar amp, you know what I mean? It's the best way to plug shit. But it's also still a little quiet, you know what I mean? It works best at, you know, like I said, at night in the middle of a cool parking lot or something. I've got another amp. I got a, what is it? I got a microcube, a Roland microcube. That I think is double A's. I don't think that one is 9-volt. It might be. I just don't remember. Whatever it is, though, it sounds okay. It gets loud enough to get me in trouble if I get too carried away about it. And like with most guitar products, you know what I mean? It's uses a standard guitar patch cable to get power. And that's kind of a nice perk. But I really like the Marshall Mini Stack. The last one I had was given to me. Like, somebody had seen that I was playing on some junked out guitar, homeless on the street, and they donate me a sick guitar and a Marshall Mini Stack amp. And it was my first ever Marshall Mini Stack. And I was skeptical. I mean, was donated, but I was very, very skeptical. I was like, there's no way that this is gonna actually sound like, even for a practice situation. But really, it's great, you know. It's perfect for like small little apartment room setting, you know, where I can just plug in and play and plug in headphones, and it brings enough power to really fill up some headphones, you know. So I can plug in any headphones and boost them up to the max and be able to play some guitar. So that's gonna have to happen. I gotta go into storage and bring that whole thing over. But also, you know, I've been here for a minute. I gotta take all my old tax forms. April 17th happened. If I ever hire an accountant, he's gonna be pissed, man. I haven't organized my receipts. I organize them every 6 months. Every 6 months, I have a big bag, and I just throw my receipts in there, and it just stacks up. So it's like months, the weeks go by, and the days go by, and then the month goes by, and then the weeks go by, and the month goes by, and the days go by, and another month goes by. And it just goes by like that. It'd be like doing an archaeological excavation on a tree. You know what I mean? To be able to pull these financial records and put them in order. But I don't know, I just keep all my receipts, man. You know? One of the dangers of broadcasting from a mobile phone into a video file is my video file canceled. You know, that happens. But on the other phone, it'll hit 30 minutes and then it stops recording. And then I'm going on for like another 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm like, damn, I've just been talking to a phone that's off for like 20 minutes. Because I got no selfie cam. I can't see what's going on the screen. I gotta like bounce it off of reflections. I couldn't even see the reflection and didn't even believe that it was working, man. Like, I'll tell you what, it's difficult stuff. I just gotta put blind faith. But, you know, the point is, I'm gonna have to find a way. I'm gonna have to hit airplane mode before I do this, because, you know, that is the way. Anyways, appreciate your calls, you know. I appreciate them less when I'm doing this. But, you know, what I was talking about was tax season. You know, April 17th is that tax day. I don't know why or how or which day of the tax cycle that really technically is. But I picked that day one day, and I was like, you know, April 17th, man, that's just a day, man. You know, call it a year already, you know. So, you know, that being said, I have this big stack of, you know, this past year's tax information, receipts and junk. Gotta move all that in storage. So that means I'm going to my storage. And if I'm going to my storage, then that's great news because that means I'll get my guitar. No phone call can distract me from getting my guitar. But I'm probably gonna have to drive there. Like, I'm gonna have to get a ride there. I don't know if I want to drive there and carry it back. It's bulky, it's weird, you know. Last thing I want is someone driving by to clip it or catch it on a light post or curb or something, you know what I mean? Like, it could be bad. So I'll probably Uber there with a load of stuff and throw stuff in there and get my guitar while I'm there. Really great news. So today is a reason to celebrate. It's like, I don't necessarily, as you can notice, I don't necessarily celebrate the day with like some crazy challenges and whatever. I keep the celebration pretty simple, like what's real, you know what I mean? And today is just like, you seen the celebration of the day, man, is that crow in the fucking palm tree, man. Like, that shit never happens. Not unless there's something guitar related going on. So that'll happen. I'll show you guys my little mini amp, leave you links to it and stuff. Whenever I bring up something, it's like, I try to leave it in the tag list, in the description, so that people can search for like, oh, maybe I'm interested in this product, and I'm like, maybe you're interested in this radio show. So that's about all I'm up to is figured out a solution to paying this annual bill is just pay it quarterly. Pay it, that's a quarter of the amount. So, thank you guys all for that, you know what I mean? What else I got going on is, I've got to write this down in my brain. Guitar, bills, there was something else. Oh, and I got to drop stuff off. I guess that's everything. And I can afford to take an Uber because I'm not going to pay it annually until next quarter. And numbers came in. I really appreciate everybody's support here. Anybody knows I'm not a millionaire, or maybe this is in the future and I am a millionaire, in which case at the time of this recording I was not a millionaire. But last month I made 36 cents. And this month I made 37 cents. So, I just see astronomical increases in the profit margins, of percentages, you know what I mean? Oh my, I'm just rolling in the profits of a penny. So, thanks all y'all. Celebrate the day, every day. This is the Duct Tape Goat radio show every day, and y'all have a great rest of your day.